You might have heard the term osteoporosis before, maybe from your doctor, a friend, or even a TV ad. But what exactly does it mean for you as an older adult? Simply put, osteoporosis is a condition where your bones become weak and brittle, making them more likely to break. Imagine your bones as a honeycomb. Healthy bones have dense, tightly packed structures, but with osteoporosis, those spaces grow larger, leaving bones fragile. A minor fall, a sudden twist, or even a strong cough could lead to a fracture, especially in the hip, spine, or wrist. Why does this happen as you age? Bones aren't static. They're constantly remodeling. Your body removes old bone and forms new bone in a delicate balance. But after age 50, especially for women after menopause, bone loss outpaces new bone growth. That's why osteoporosis is often called a silent disease. You might not feel it happening until a bone breaks. This is where calcium comes in. Calcium isn't just something you find in milk commercials. It's the primary mineral that keeps your bones strong. If your diet doesn't provide enough calcium, your body takes it from your bones, weakening them over time. Think of calcium as the bricks in a wall. Without enough, the structure crumbles. But here's the good news. Osteoporosis isn't inevitable. With the right knowledge, starting with calcium, you can take steps to protect your bones. So let's dive deeper into how calcium works, how much you really need, and how supplements can help when diet alone isn't enough. Because here's the truth. A fracture isn't just about pain. It can lead to long-term disability, loss of independence, or even complications that affect overall health. That's why understanding osteoporosis is your first defense, and why calcium is your strongest ally. Now that you know why calcium matters, let's talk about how it keeps your bones strong, because not all calcium is created equal, and timing matters just as much as the dose. You know calcium is important for bones, but have you ever wondered exactly how it works inside your body? Let's take a closer look at this essential mineral, because understanding its role helps you make smarter choices about your bone health. Picture your bones as a calcium bank. About 99% of your body's calcium is stored in your bones and teeth, acting like a structural framework that keeps them strong. The remaining 1% circulates in your blood, where it plays critical roles in muscle, function, nerve signaling, and even heart rhythm. When blood calcium levels drop, whether from diet, aging, or other factors, your body withdraws calcium from your bones to maintain that delicate balance. Over time, too many withdrawals weaken your bone structure, much like draining a savings account leaves you financially vulnerable. But here's the key. Your bones aren't just passive storage. They're living tissue constantly undergoing remodeling, a process where old bone is broken down, resorption, and new bone is formed. In your younger years, this process stays balanced. However, after age 50, bone loss gradually outpaces formation, especially in postmenopausal women due to dropping estrogen levels. That's why getting enough calcium now is like making regular deposits into your bone bank. It helps slow withdrawals and preserves strength. How calcium builds and protects bone density. Calcium combines with other minerals, like phosphorus, to form hydroxyapatite crystals, which give bones their hardness and resistance to fractures. Preventing bone loss. Adequate calcium intake signals your body to limit borrowing from bones, reducing the risk of osteoporosis. Supporting repair. When microfractures occur, as they do naturally, calcium aids in the repair process to maintain bone integrity. When diet isn't enough, while dairy products, leafy greens, and fortified foods provide calcium, many older adults struggle to meet daily needs through diet alone. Reduced appetite, lactose intolerance, or medication interactions can all interfere. That's where supplements step in. But not all calcium supplements work the same way. So now that you see why calcium is non-negotiable for bone health, let's explore how much you actually need and whether you should get it from food, pills, or a combination of both. Because here's the truth. Even the best supplement won't help if you're not taking the right amount at the right time. Now that you understand calcium's vital role in bone health, let's tackle the big question. How much calcium do you actually need each day? The answer isn't one size fits all. It depends on your age, gender, and overall health. But here's what research tells us about optimal intake for older adults. Recommended daily allowance, RDA, for seniors women. 51 plus, 100-200 milligrams per day. Men, 51 to 70, 1,000 milligrams per day. Men, 71 plus, 1,200 milligrams per day. Why the difference? Women face accelerated bone loss after menopause due to declining estrogen, while men generally start losing bone density later in life. But these numbers aren't arbitrary. They're based on the amount needed to minimize bone loss and reduce fracture risk. Food first. Best dietary sources. Ideally, you'd get most of your calcium from food because it's better absorbed and comes with other bone-friendly nutrients like protein and phosphorus. Top options include dairy, yogurt, 300-400 ml per cup, milk, 300 ml per cup, cheese, 200-300 ml per ounce. Non-dairy, fortified plant milks, 300 ml per cup, tofu, 250-800 milligrams per half cup, depending on processing. Almonds, 75 milligrams per ounce. Leafy greens, collard greens, 260 milligrams per cooked cup. Kale, 100 milligrams per cup. Bok choy, 160 milligrams per cup. But let's be realistic. Many older adults fall short. Reduced appetite, dietary restrictions, or even taste changes can make it hard to hit 1,200 milligrams daily. For example, if you're lactose intolerant or vegan, you might rely heavily on greens, but you'd need to eat 6 cups of cooked kale to match the calcium in 1 glass of milk. When to consider supplements, supplements can fill the gap, but they're not a free pass to skip calcium-rich foods. Think of them as a backup plan for days when your diet falls short. Key signs you might need one. You consistently consume less than 800 milligrams of calcium daily. You avoid dairy and don't replace it with fortified alternatives. Your doctor has diagnosed osteoporosis or low bone density. The absorption factor here's a catch. Your body can only absorb about 500 mg of calcium at a time. So if you take a $1,000 mirror supplement all at once, half may go to waste. That's why splitting doses, e.g. 500 milligrams at breakfast and 500 milligrams at dinner, maximizes absorption. Up next, we'll dive into the types of calcium supplements, because choosing the right one can make all the difference in effectiveness and side effects. You've decided to add a calcium supplement, but walk down the pharmacy aisle and you're bombarded with options. Carbonate, citrate, chelated, even coral calcium. How do you pick the right one without falling for marketing hype? Let's break it down, because the type of calcium you take affects everything from absorption to side effects. The 2 most common and effective forms: calcium carbonate pros, affordable, widely available, and contains the highest percentage of elemental calcium, 40%, so a 500 milligram pill delivers 200 milligrams of absorbable calcium. Cons: requires stomach acid for absorption, so it's best taken with meals. May cause bloating or constipation, best for older adults with normal stomach acid levels, but avoid if you take acid blockers like PPIs long-term. Calcium citrate pros: easily absorbed even without food or stomach acid, making it ideal for seniors. With low acid production, common with aging or acid reducer use. Gentler on digestion. Cons: lower elemental calcium, 21%, so a 500 milligram pill provides only 105 milligrams, meaning you'll need more pills to hit your daily target, best for those with sensitive stomachs, IBS, or taking acid-reducing meds. Less common, but still valid. Options: calcium phosphate. Absorbs well and doesn't cause constipation, but rarely found in supplements. Calcium gluconate and lactate. Low elemental calcium, 9 to 13%, requiring large doses, not practical for seniors. Avoid gimmicks, coral calcium, or bone meal. Claims lack scientific backing and may contain contaminants like lead. Key selection criteria: check the label for elemental calcium. This is the actual amount your body can use. For example, if the bottle says on 200 mg calcium carbonate, you're only getting 480 mg of absorbable calcium. Added ingredients. Some supplements include magnesium or vitamin D for better absorption, helpful, but ensure doses align with your needs. We'll cover synergy in Section 6. Form factor: tablets, chewables, or liquids. If swallowing pills is hard, consider a gummy or powder, but check sugar content for diabetics. Red flags to watch. For megadose. Pills. Avoid single-dose supplements exceeding 500 ml. Your body can't absorb it all at once. Unverified, natural. Claims. Terms like whole food calcium often mask poor bioavailability. Stick to well-studied forms, carbonate or citrate. Now that you're equipped to choose wisely, let's talk timing, because when and how you take your supplement matters just as much as the type. You've picked the right calcium supplement, but taking it incorrectly can undermine its benefits or even cause side effects. Let's optimize your routine, because when and how much you take matters just as much as the type of calcium you choose. The golden rule: split your dose. Your body can only absorb 500-600 mg of calcium at a time. If you take 1,000 mg in one sitting, nearly half may pass through unused. Instead, divide your total daily dose, e.g. 500 mg at breakfast and 500 mg at dinner. If you need 200 mg a day, consider 300-400 mg doses with meals. Timing: tips by calcium. Type calcium carbonate take with meals. Needs stomach acid for absorption. A small snack isn't enough. Pair it with a full meal, e.g. breakfast or lunch. Avoid iron-rich meals. Calcium blocks iron absorption. Space them by 2+ hours if you take iron supplements. Calcium, citrate flexible timing, can be taken with or without food, ideal for seniors with low stomach acid or nighttime doses. Bedtime bonus. Some research suggests taking calcium at night may reduce bone turnover while you sleep. What not to mix with calcium: certain medications. Calcium binds to thyroid meds, like levothyroxine, antibiotics, ciprofloxacin, and bisphosphonates, osteoporosis drugs. Take these 2 to 4 hours before or after calcium, high fiber or phytate-rich foods, bran, beans, spinach. These inhibit calcium absorption. Don't take your supplement with a fiber-heavy meal. Special cases: acid reflux, PPI. Users: if you take proton pump inhibitors, e.g. omeprazole, your stomach acid is reduced. Stick to calcium citrate for reliable absorption. Kidney stones. Those with a history of stones should avoid doses exceeding 500 mg at once and drink extra water to flush excess calcium. Signs: you're overdoing it. While rare, excessive calcium, usually from supplements, can cause constipation or bloating. Try switching forms or increasing water, fiber. Kidney stones, if paired with low fluid intake. Hypercalcemia, excess blood calcium leading to confusion or heart issues, but this requires very high doses. Up next, we'll explore calcium's powerful partner, vitamin D, because without it, your body can't put all that calcium to good use. Calcium may be the star player for bone health, but it can't do its job without its essential teammate, vitamin D. Think of them as a dynamic duo. Calcium provides the raw materials for bone strength, while vitamin D ensures your body actually absorbs and uses those materials. Without enough vitamin D, you could take all the calcium in the world and still lose bone density. Why vitamin D matters. Vitamin D isn't just another supplement. It's a hormone that regulates calcium absorption in your intestines. Here's how it works. Boosts calcium absorption by up to 30 to 40%. Without it, you absorb only 10–15% of dietary calcium. Prevents calcium loss in urine by helping your kidneys reabsorb it. Supports muscle function, reducing fall risk, a critical factor for fracture prevention. Are you deficient? Vitamin D deficiency is shockingly common in older adults. Up to 50% of seniors have insufficient levels. Risk factors include limited sun exposure. Your skin makes less vitamin D with age, even in sunlight. Darker skin tones. Melanin reduces. Vitamin D synthesis. Obesity or malabsorption. Fat-soluble vitamin D gets trapped in body fat or isn't absorbed properly. How much do you need? Adults 5170, 600 IU day, 15 mcg. Adults 71 plus, 800 IU day, 20 mcg. Deficiency may require higher doses, $1,000–$2,000 IU day or more, as prescribed. Best sources of vitamin D are sunlight. 10–30 minutes of midday sun, arms, legs exposed several times a week. But this varies by skin tone, location, and sunscreen use. Foods: fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, fortified dairy, plant milks, egg yolks. Supplements: D2, ergocalciferol. Plant-based, less potent, D3, cholecalciferol. Animal-derived, more effective at raising blood levels. Smart pairing strategies: take vitamin D with your largest meal. Fat improves absorption. Look for combo calcium plus D supplements, but check doses. Many contain only 200–400 IU of D, which may be too low if you're deficient. Get tested. A simple blood test, 25-hydroxyvitamin D, can reveal if you're in the optimal range, 30–50 ng/ml. Too much of a good thing? Vitamin D toxicity is rare, but possible with excessive supplementation, over 4,000 IU day long-term. Symptoms include nausea, weakness, or kidney stones. Stick to recommended doses unless monitored by a doctor. Now that you've got the calcium-vitamin D combo down, let's address potential pitfalls, because even the best supplements can cause side effects if not managed carefully. Even the most well-intentioned supplement routine can backfire if you ignore the fine print. Calcium is no exception. While it's essential for bone health, taking it improperly can lead to uncomfortable and sometimes serious side effects. Let's walk through the most common issues and how to avoid them so you can reap the benefits without the drawbacks. Digestive discomfort, constipation. Calcium carbonate is the biggest culprit, as it neutralizes stomach acid. Fix: switch to calcium citrate, increase water fiber intake, or split doses. Bloating, gas. Some formulations, especially chewables, contain fillers like sorbitol that irritate the gut. Fix: opt for plain tablets or a different brand. Kidney stones, excess calcium, especially without enough fluids, can contribute to stones in susceptible people. Fix: stay hydrated. Aim for 2+ liters of water daily. Avoid megadoses. Stick to 500–600 mg per dose. Balance with citrate, found in lemons, limes. It inhibits stone formation. Interference with medications. Calcium binds to certain drugs, reducing their effectiveness. Thyroid meds, levothyroxine. Take calcium 4+ hours apart. Antibiotics. Fluoroquinolones, tetracyclines, separate by 2–3 hours. Diuretics, thiazides, can raise blood calcium levels. Monitor with your doctor. Hypercalcemia, rare but serious. Too much calcium in your blood, usually from oversupplementing causes. Symptoms: fatigue, confusion, excessive thirst, irregular heartbeat. Prevention: never exceed 2,500 milliliters per day, food plus supplements, without medical supervision. Iron and zinc. Deficiency: high calcium intake blocks absorption of these key minerals. Fix: space out supplements, e.g., take iron at lunch, calcium at dinner. Special populations at higher risk kidney disease patients. Excess calcium can worsen vascular calcification. Hyperparathyroidism sufferers. Calcium levels may already be high. Supplements could be dangerous. Pro. Tip: always start with the lowest effective dose and adjust based on tolerance. Your body will signal when something's off. Don't ignore persistent symptoms. Now that you're equipped to handle side effects, let's tackle another hidden hurdle: how other medications might sabotage your calcium routine. You've mastered timing, dosage, and side effect management, but there's one more hurdle to clear: medications that clash with calcium. Many common prescriptions, from thyroid pills to heartburn drugs, can interfere with calcium absorption or effectiveness. Let's decode these hidden conflicts so your supplement routine doesn't accidentally undermine your other treatments. Acid reducers, PPIs, and H2 blockers. Examples: omeprazole, Prilosec, famotidine, Pepcid. The problem: these reduce stomach acid, slashing calcium carbonate absorption by up to 50%. Solution: switch to calcium citrate. Doesn't need acid. If you must take calcium carbonate, pair it with acidic foods, orange juice, vinegar. Thyroid medications. Example: levothyroxine. Synthroid. The problem: calcium binds to the drug, making it ineffective. Solution: take levothyroxine on an empty stomach, morning with water only. Wait 4+ hours before calcium supplements or dairy. Antibiotics affected types: fluoroquinolones, ciprofloxacin, tetracyclines, doxycycline. The problem: calcium forms insoluble complexes with these drugs, blocking their action. Solution: space antibiotics, 2 to 3 hours apart from calcium. If on long-term antibiotics, e.g., for Lyme disease, discuss timing with your doctor. Bisphosphonates, osteoporosis drugs. Examples: alendronate, Fosamax, ibandronate, Boniva. The problem: calcium blocks their absorption, but you need calcium for these drugs to work. Solution: take bisphosphonates first thing in the morning, with plain water. Wait 30 to 60 minutes before calcium or food. Diuretics thiazides, HCTZ, increase calcium retention. Risk of hypercalcemia. Loop diuretics, furosemide. Increase calcium loss, counteracts supplements. Solution: monitor blood calcium levels if on thiazides. You may need higher calcium doses with loop diuretics under medical supervision. Blood pressure and heart meds. Calcium channel blockers, amlodipine, diltiazem, compete with calcium supplements at cellular levels. Digoxin, high calcium increases risk of toxicity, irregular heartbeat. Solution: space these meds, 2+ hours from calcium. Regular blood tests to check calcium-potassium levels. Red flag: combinations calcium plus iron zinc. These minerals compete for absorption. Separate by 2+ hours. Calcium plus magnesium. High doses of both can cause diarrhea. Balance ratios: 2.1 calcium, magnesium. Pro. Tip: keep a medication timeline, sample below, to avoid clashes. Thyroid pill, wait until 11 a.m. for calcium. PM, antibiotic, take calcium at 3 p.m. PM, bisphosphonate, calcium at dinner, 7 p.m. Armed with this knowledge, you're ready to pair calcium safely with any medication, but supplements alone aren't enough. Next, we'll explore how lifestyle habits can double the bone-protecting benefits. Calcium supplements are powerful, but they can't work miracles alone. To truly protect your bones, you need a holistic approach, combining smart supplementation with daily habits that reinforce bone strength. Think of it as cross-training. For your skeleton, the right movements nutrients, and safety strategies work together to keep you fracture-free. Weight-bearing exercise. Non-negotiable for bones. Your bones adapt to the demands you place on them. Just like muscles, they weaken without stimulation. Best options for seniors. Walking. 30 minutes day, even broken into 10-minute chunks, reduces hip fracture risk by 30%. Strength training. Light weights or resistance bands, 2 to 3x week, preserves bone density. Focus on legs, squats, leg presses, and back, rows. Balance drills, Tai Chi or heel-toe walks, cut fall risk by 40%. Caution: avoid high-impact exercises, jogging, jumping. If you already have osteoporosis, opt for low-impact versions like elliptical. Machines. 2. Fall-proof. Your home, most fractures happen from falls, not just weak bones. Simple fixes. Lighting. Night lights in hallways, bathrooms, grab bars, near toilets, showers, avoid suction cups, use screw-in ones. Floor hazards, remove throw rugs, secure loose cords. Nutrients, beyond calcium protein, 1.2 g per kilo of body. Weight daily, e.g. 60 gram for a 130 lb person, maintains bone matrix. Magnesium. Helps convert vitamin D to its active form, found in nuts, spinach, and whole grains. Vitamin K2 directs calcium to bones, not arteries. Get it from natto, cheese, or supplements. 100 pause mcg day. Limit bone robbers, excess salt. Each 2,300 mg of sodium flushes out 40 mg of calcium in urine. Alcohol. More than one drink day interferes with calcium absorption. Soda, colas. Phosphoric acid may leach calcium from bones. Posture matters. Spinal fracture prevention. Avoid bending forward, e.g. toe touches. Instead, hinge at hips. Posture exercises. Gentle back extensions strengthen vertebrae. Sunlight for vitamin D with supplements. Aim for 10-15 minutes of midday sun. Arms, face exposed, several times a week. It boosts mood and bone health. Pro. Tip. Track progress with a bone health journal. Weekly exercise. Log daily calcium, vitamin D, intake, fall near misses to identify patterns. Now that you've built a full bone protection plan, let's talk about the final piece, monitoring your progress. To ensure it's working. Taking calcium supplements and adopting bone-healthy habits is a great start. But how do you know it's actually working? Unlike a cut that heals visibly, bone changes happen silently. That's why proactive monitoring is crucial. Let's explore how to track your bone health effectively and when to adjust your approach. Bone density tests, DEXA scans. What it measures: your T-score compares your bone density to a healthy 30-year-old's 1.0 or higher, normal 1.1 to 2.4, osteopenia, early. Bone loss, 2.5 or lower. Osteoporosis, frequency, baseline test at 65, or earlier if high risk. Every 2 years if stable. Annually if on osteoporosis meds or significant bone loss. Tip: request copies of your scans to track changes over time. Don't just rely on normal, abnormal. Labels 2. Blood and urine markers. While DEXA shows structure, these tests reveal bone activity. Serum calcium should be 8.5–10.2 mg/dl. Higher may indicate oversupplementation, vitamin D, 25 OH. Optimal range is 30 to 50 ng/ml/ntx or CTX urine tests. Measure bone breakdown, useful for tracking treatment. Response 3. Symptom tracking report. These to your doctor promptly. New back pain, possible spinal fracture. Height loss, 1 inch indicates vertebral compression, frequent fractures from minor falls, 4. Medication reviews, re-evaluate every 6 to 12 months. Calcium, vitamin D doses. Adjust based on new test results, osteoporosis drugs. Bisphosphonates are typically taken for 3 to 5 years before a drug holiday, FIST. Lifestyle audits every 3 months. Ask, have I maintained my exercise routine? Have I fallen or had near misses? Is my diet still rich in bone-supportive nutrients? When to change course, consider adjustments. If your DEXA shows continued bone loss despite supplements, you develop kidney stones or constipation. New medications interact with your regimen. Remember, bone health is a marathon, not a sprint. Small, consistent actions create lasting protection. You've just completed a masterclass in calcium supplementation and bone protection, but knowledge only becomes power when put into action. Here's what to do now. Assess your current routine. Calculate your daily calcium intake, food plus supplements. Check if your vitamin D levels have been tested. Schedule key appointments. Ask your doctor about a DEXA scan if you've never had one. Discuss medication interactions at your next visit. Make one lifestyle change. This week, add a 10-minute walk to your daily routine. Install one fall prevention item in your homestay. Informed bookmark reputable sources like the National Osteoporosis Foundation. Watch for updates on calcium research. Recommendations evolve. We're here to help. For more senior health guidance, subscribe to our channel for weekly bone health tips. Join our community forum to share experiences. Your bones carry you through life. Now you have the tools to return the favor. Here's to standing strong. For years to come,